What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Talking Cobra Kai. And today I will be ranking all three of the original Karate Kid movies: Karate Kid 1, 2, and 3, not 4, because, let me just tell you, that movie would be in fourth place. So I'm just not counting that movie. But we got some people in the chat. We got No Mercy Matchups. What is up, dude? If you guys have any questions, like about anything about Karate Kid, Cobra Kai, I will answer them after I'm done my ranking. You can ask me anything. Um, so let's just get right into this. So, in coming in third place, we have Karate Kid Part 3. Now, this movie is it's an interesting movie. I feel like if you're a fan of uh the Karate Kid movies, then you will like this. But if you're just like a movie fan, then you won't like this. like because it is a rather cringy movie. Um yeah, but like I said, if you're a movie fan, I feel like you will really not like this. But if you're like a Cobra Kai or Karate Kid fan, then you will definitely like this movie, especially because I think the characters for the most part are really good in this movie, but it also is funny. I don't know if it's meant to be funny, but you know, it's like kind of cringy funny. Like I could watch this and like not get bored because it's so like outgoing and out there, but it's really fun to watch. And Terry Silver is such an over the top character, but he's also such a fan favorite character, um, because he's so over the top, and I really like him. Hopefully, he comes back in Cobra Kai season 4, but he's so out there, and you know, like I said this before, but if you're a movie fan and you're watching this, you probably won't like his character at all. But Karate Kid fans, you will like his character because it just he adds more to the story. It's another villain and another backstory for Kreese. So yeah, but also Kreese was supposed to be the only main villain in this movie, but Martin Kove was on a show, so he couldn't be in every scene. So the writer, he said this, like, he had to write this character. I don't know how much time he had to write it. So that's why like the writing isn't the best, like, at all. Like, a lot of lines, I can tell you, are really bad in this movie, but you can't really blame him. He had overnight, um or not overnight. Maybe it was overnight, but I'd say like a week to write this character in, and that's why he's so out there and so crazy. But he's a fun character, and also the fight scenes are definitely like the worst in this movie. It like the All Valley turn, like the final scene. It's like the final tournament in the last scene. It's just Mike Barnes doing illegal moves and Daniel getting injured until Daniel does this one move which beats him, which is not even like a cool move. Like, compared to the crane kick, it's nothing. It's like this movie. It's basically just a duplicate version of the first, but worse. Like, Karate Kid 2 was different because they went to Okinawa. This is just basically a duplicate with a little more elements, a different girl, and a new villain, but it's a duplicate, but much, much worse of the first movie. I feel like the studio just, like, the second one didn't do that great, and I feel like the studio just wanted them to like kind of repeat this version, which it's fine if it's good, but I don't think this movie is as good as, it's not even close to as good as the first, and I feel like repeating it wasn't the right move. And Daniel, he kind of felt like really out of character in this movie, especially with him leaving Miyagi after everything they've been through with each other, and him just joining Silver in Cobra Kai. Like, I don't know why. I still don't understand why he did that. Because Mr. Miyagi didn't want him to fight in the tournament, which was honestly the right move, but Daniel just didn't listen to him and left and joined Silver when it was so obvious that Silver was a bad guy. Like, I don't know. I don't know why he'd ever want to join Cobra Kai after what they did to him in the first movie. So he felt really out of character in this movie. But Mike Barnes, also, speaking of like a duplicate of the first movie, Mike Barnes is just a Johnny, but like a sociopath. Because Johnny, Johnny was a good guy deep down. He didn't want to do this. I was Kreese in his head. But Mike Barnes, it's just him. But, he has Kreese, like, he's like a mini version of Kreese and Silver. Like, Johnny was just being manipulated by Kreese, but Barnes is just a mini Kreese and Silver. Like, he's just crazy. So, yeah, this movie, like, us Karate Kid and Cobra Kai fans will really like this movie, but, if you're just watching this and you're not a Karate Kid or Cobra Kai fan, you will definitely not like this movie at all. But now coming in second place, we have Karate Kid Part 2. Now, when I first went into this movie, I really thought I wouldn't like it because this is what happened. So I saw Karate Kid 1 before I watched Cobra Kai, and then after season 2 came out, I watched Karate Kid Part 2, and I really didn't think I'd like it because I knew the only characters that were in the original that are in this is Daniel and Mr. Miyagi and Kreese and Johnny in the beginning, but I knew it was gonna be like in Okinawa and like totally new different characters, and I didn't think I'd like it. But after watching it, I was really blown away. Like, I really did like it. I know this movie gets hate. I don't think it deserves the hate it gets because it's so different from the first one, and the writing I think is definitely the best in this movie, and we get to learn more about Mr. Miyagi, who was a fan favorite in the first movie. So we just get to deep dive into his character and more of Miyagi Do karate, and we get to learn more about his life. And the visuals in Okinawa are so good. Like, it's one of the best visuals in an 80s movie I think I've ever seen. But the Okinawa shots and everything, it was breathtaking to look at. But the problem I do have with this is it's a little slow paced. It's more of a love movie than a karate movie, I think, which isn't a huge problem, but I think it did slow down the story like compared to the first one. But you get to learn more about Miyagi and his girl, and then Komiko and Daniel, who have great chemistry with each other. She's probably Daniel's best girlfriend, in my opinion. They had great chemistry with each other, both in this and in Cobra Kai. We see it, but like I said, it's more of a love movie more than a karate movie, and that slows down the pace. But the action in this movie, not a lot of it, but I feel like the most part that we got of it, it was pretty good. That scene with the ice and Daniel breaking it was cool. I wish it was longer scene than that. Like, he has to do more ice, but it was still pretty cool. And then the scene at the end, I think we all knew Daniel was gonna win because it's an 80s movie. The underdog always wins. But once he did once he tried to do the crane kick, it just didn't work. Like, and that's when I thought, okay, maybe it's gonna be a lot closer to that thought, which it was. And then you got the whole drum technique, which was so cool. Because you really don't expect that. First you have in the first movie, you have the wax on, wax off, and you don't know how that's gonna help. And then you have this drum. It's like, how is he gonna beat him with a drum? And then you see him just smack Chosen across the face repeatedly, and it's so good. It's so good. And Chosen as a character, I like how he's so different from Johnny. Like, I thought they were just gonna make him like in all the movies. I thought they were just gonna be Johnny, bully for no reason. But I like Chosen in this movie how he was trying to impress Sato. Like, he wasn't just a villain because he's just a villain. He had reason. He had a reason in this movie to be not such a great guy. Because he wanted to impress Sato. And Sato wasn't that great either. But still, we have more of a backstory between them. And yeah, I like this movie a lot. Like I said, it's a little slow paced, but it surprised me how good it was. Like I said, I did not expect it to be this good, but it's really good, and it's definitely the most different Karate Kid movie out of all of them. Because you're in Okinawa, you could see more of Miyagi. And also Daniel was. Daniel had a much smaller. Daniel was more of a supporting character in this movie, and Miyagi was the star of the movie, which I really liked because, like I said, Miyagi's a fan favorite character. So I like to see him in the spotlight more. And Daniel, when he saved that girl in the typhoon, that scene was intense. I did not expect that like at all, but it was still cool. But now, of course, coming in first place, we have the original Karate Kid. Now, how can you not put this movie in one? Like, it's on my top 5 favorite 80s movies. It's on my top 10 movies. This movie, it's so well done. I saw it once when I was a little kid. Then when Cobra Kai came out, season 1 came out on YouTube, I watched it again. And every time I rewatch it, I love it even more, especially after seeing Cobra Kai when, you see these characters in different perspective. But as this movie as a whole, it's so well done. And all these 80 movies, the underdog always wins. But in this movie, you really don't know, because Mr. Miyagi is teaching Daniel these techniques of painting a fence and sanding the floor. And you're like, how is it? Like, Daniel doesn't understand it. Like, Daniel doesn't know how this is going to save him in a fight. And we don't understand it either until like the finale, until the last scene of the movie. And then we're like, oh yeah, now it makes sense. And it's so different from any other 80s movie or any other underdog movie. And I really appreciate how different it is, because 80s movies, they all sort of have like the same formula, but this is it's very different, especially with Miyagi. And he's not like a samurai, compared to other movies. He's not a strong, tall, big samurai. He's just you're a regular guy who's just who's what was he? He worked at the apartment or something, and he's teaching him karate, but not with like any swords, any nunchucks. He's teaching him karate with a paintbrush, and you're like, what? But it all makes sense at the end. This movie, it's so well done, and then of course that final scene, it's iconic. That kick, come on, that will be talked about for 100 more years. Nobody will ever forget that kick. And also it has like the love story in it, and has the bully in it, but it's not your basic 80s movie, it's so good. I appreciate this movie so much. And at the end you get to see the bully hand him the trophy, which is forgotten in Cobra Kai. Like, they ignore like that, but he hands him the trophy, and you're like, yeah, even the bully at the end, he's a good guy. It's just such a great movie. Especially us Cobra Kai fans, we appreciate it even more than I think, just if you're watching it regularly. But still, this movie, it's a classic. And I love this movie. But yeah, so we have some people in the chat. Let's talk Cobra Kai on Talking Cobra Kai. You said as your new opening line. Maybe that's a good opening line. A lot of people hate that movie. I like it. It's my second place. I think you're talking about Karate Kid 3. Yeah, it's not terrible. Don't get me wrong, but looking at it as a just on a movie standpoint, it's not good. Like, the writing, it's not good. But as a Karate Kid movie, I love it. It's funny, and it's got great characters. So yeah. Hashtag Terry in season 4, hopefully. But the writer of Karate Kid 1 through 3, he did say in an interview, he said, "Oh, I talked to Thomas Ian Griffin before he's going to Atlanta to film season 4." Now, I don't know if he knows that for sure, but he said he does talk to the big 3. So, who knows? I think we have a pretty good chance of seeing Terry in season 4, though. It's just, what is his role going to be, and how is he going to be introduced? Terry Silver was bullying towards Daniel. Yeah, he was for sure. I love all 3 Karate Kid movies, but the first film is better. Yeah, for sure. Like I said, it's just a classic, and then like the third one is basically just a worse duplicate of it, and then the second one is still very good. But how can you beat the classic? Especially when the classic is this good. It's so good. First one, it's definitely. And now we all love Cobra Kai, and I don't think enough fans of Cobra Kai appreciate the movie. I don't appreciate Miyagi. Now more fans are, and especially since the Netflix move, more fans are watching Cobra Kai, and then they see Karate Kid, and they're like, "This movie is so good. Mr. Miyagi is so good." But we need more people to appreciate the movie, and the show is still great. I was 13 when the first Karate Kid movie came. Wow, that's really cool. If you're still here, did you see that in theaters? I wish I could see that movie in theaters. Just everybody seeing that crane kick at the end. I wonder if everybody was like going crazy. And because, like I said, and seeing the the wax on, wax off payoff. Like I just want I would love to go back in time and go in the theaters and see everybody's reaction to that. I think that would be really cool to see. Yeah. So looks like no one else has anything to say. So thank you everyone for watching live. And if you're watching this on the replay, thank you so much for watching. And if you haven't already, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on your post notifications so you know every time I upload. And if you want to, you can follow me on Instagram at Talking Kai. At Talking Cobra Kai YT. You can check out some videos I post on Karate Kid and Cobra Kai. And if you want, leave some video suggestions. I'm down to do anything Karate Kid or Cobra Kai related. Let me know in the comment section down below. And also, let me know your ranking while you're at it in the comment section down below. Let me. Everybody seems to have a different list. I know some people have 2 at 1. Some people have 3 at 2. Some people have. It's all different. I'm interested to hear your guys' thoughts and compare them to mine. So thank you for watching, and remember, sweep the leg.